What up, you guys? So this morning I woke up to a 5 ROAS on my campaigns on the first store. It fell down to like a 3.86, but this is what we're looking like so far. It is currently only 9 o'clock and we are at $700 for the day at a 3% conversion rate today. Looking like one of them days, boys. We are probably gonna push a 2K day. That's what the day is looking like. Let me open the ad manager, load it up, and show you guys what things are looking like. As you can see, CPA is amazing. ROAS is great, and it's literally just a one CBO ad structure. Today is a Friday, so performance usually great on Fridays, so I'm going to look to increase the ad spend by 20% for the specific campaign for the first store. For the second store, what are we at today? Let me see. So we don't got a sale today. Let me actually look at yesterday though. Let me grab my phone real quick. So, and one thing too that I realized I like to do when it comes to working, I like to put my phone all the way behind me so I don't necessarily look at it, and it tempts me to want to get distracted and shit. That's what I've been doing lately, and it's been making me ultra productive ever since I came back from my trip. I've been on that, and it's made me very, very productive. So if you have issues kind of, staying active, working and shit, that's a good tip. But this is what results looked like. The fuck, yesterday on the second store, nothing too crazy. As I told you guys, we're down a couple $100 on the store even. Let me open up the P&L real quick, tell you guys what things are looking like, just show you guys a realistic view of what running a product launch might look like. So the first 3 days we made, what does it say? And I'm looking at my P&L sheet. So we made 180 or 183, and we spent 300. So we lost 187, which honestly for product test isn't that crazy. Like, I'm again willing to lose 300 to like $1,000 depending on what performance is looking like for this specific product though. For me, the reason why I still, I'll keep going into the kind of P&L. So for the next following days after that, the first 3 days looked good. The following 2 days were very, very, very ass. We got no sales, so we blew, how much? We blew $300. So as a total, the first 6 days we're down 528. So I'm like, hey, fuck, we gotta make changes. So on the 4th day, what I did realize on the 4th day, and this might be why results might have been kind of weird, but I realized on the 4th day, after we were able to do the $100 with spending $300, I realized that all the spend was going to the US, and the US is very, very profitable. When I looked at the US, we were able to do a 2-point-something ROAS for the US with those sales we got, but in every other nation like the UK and Australia, it was very, very ass. So I said, okay, bet. I took out the US from the campaign, and I thought, okay, the next day would be good, and the next 3 days were shit. So I was like, hey, this is crazy. And I did launch some new creators as well in that campaign, but it didn't do the best. The 7th day, we got a sale. The 7th day, I decided to launch some interest on there, and the reason and my thought process behind that is because in the past, like I ran another product that was like kind of in the health space, but it had a bunch of interest on Facebook, and I ran it, and I was able to scale that up to $400 a day before it got restricted, and I stopped running it because it was Q4 and I wanted to focus on the main brand. But lesson I learned in there is that interest does work. Interest works depending on the products. Broader products do way better with broad. Some like niche down products, like maybe a baby product I've seen does well with interest, and it just depends on the product. So I said, okay, let me launch interest and see if performance is going to get better. So in doing that, which was literally yesterday, you see we got the 2 sales. The interest didn't get a sale. It was actually a static in the CBO that got a sale. Another lesson there, statics work. But nevertheless, today is the 8th day. We are currently down 590 $57. Again, not too crazy. I'm down to spend a rack on this product just to test it. And looking at the ad manager for this store, the interests are looking very, very good. Yesterday, the interests looked bad. And I also realize, again, you guys kind of have to look at the results and kind of decipher for yourself if it makes sense to do these type of things. But I looked at the results for the product for the last 7 days that I've been running, and I realized that a lot of spend is going to men, and men aren't buying this shit. It's women. And like, I had a idea that might be the case, but I didn't want to necessarily like exclude the men, because men also have I'm not gonna try to expose the product, but like the men can use it as well. But it seemed like the women are the most profitable audience, obviously the most expensive audience as well. So I did make that change as well. So I launched new interest, cut the ones that did bad, and today the new interest that I launched looked very, very solid. I don't know if it's gonna get a sale yet, but the initial metrics look good. I did have to turn off some, but nevertheless, things looking good in terms of the CBO. CBO honestly looks dog shit, I'm not going to lie, but nevertheless, we did lower spend on the CBO a bit to get some more budget into the ABO. So we're spending $100 a day on the CBO. We went from spending 100 to spending 500. What the fuck, I'm tripping. Spending 100 to spending 50 on the CBO, and allocating more of that budget into the ABOs just to test things out. And again, with these testing things, you just have to use your own judgment and see what makes sense. The last product I tested, we launched it, we only lost like $300, and we had some profitable days, some unprofitable days. So that's why we ran it for a bit longer. This one, though, it has a lot of proof of concept, because on Kelo data, it has a lot of sales. It was pushing literally 40k days on Kelo data, and it just launched and has shit ads on Kelo data. But I saw on the Facebook ad manager that there's a competitor absolutely going crazy with it. They fully branded the product. The site looks crazy. So I said, okay, this proof of concept here. They're lacking a little bit on the creators. The creators are pretty dookie meat. Their site is good. So I said, okay, let me hop in there and make some better creatives. And currently we're still in that phase where we're testing shit out to outcompete them. I did realize that my site was dog water. My site, that's another thing I want to mention that I did yesterday. So yesterday I realized my site was dog water, and I realized that might be a reason why we also see a drop off in performance, because I don't make my websites. I get them outsourced from my product lister. So I looked at it. It was good, but some benefits should have been listed first, and it was, how do I say this without exposing the product? It was kind of more basically it was targeting the wrong audience. It was more of a general approach on the landing page, whereas in the ads we're talking about a specific audience that has this issue. So I fixed up the website, made it look a little bit more branding. I just literally just do it in Canva. It took me literally like 10 minutes to just put the product on a nice background, make it look nice, put some benefits on there, and just kind of fix up the site, because the website kind of looked scammy in terms of the pictures and shit. So that's how we're looking to see if the next few days we can get some scale into this product. If we can't, cool, we dub the product and move on. So that's kind of how I like to analyze things when it comes to these product tests. Right now I'm taking like a little break. I've been working since 7. Oh fuck, I almost fell. Oh shit. I've been working since 7 a.m. It's currently 10, so I'm like just looking at my phone, looking at little messages and shit like that. But for the rest of the day though, we need to launch the ads. Our editor made this, well, she made them yesterday. I submitted them yesterday. She finished them today, and I just looked at them. They looked good, so we're gonna throw on the ad account and see how performance looks in a 7-day window. In terms of Fridays though, Fridays is low-key it's a productive day, but we don't do as much. It's more like a cleanup day, make sure everything is good, and then we move on to the weekend and get shit done. But what I got left to do after I throw shit into the ad account, I'm gonna go gym, then I'm gonna do some media buying. I might do media buying before gym. Like, there's not much to do. We just need to increase budgets, because we looked at everything yesterday. The second store we need to That's a new interest into that bitch. Yeah, so I might just do it right now before I go gym. Grab some food before I go to gym, actually. And then after that, I don't know. The day might be cooked. Like, again, on Fridays, it's usually a calmer day. I usually work for 5 to maybe 6 hours a day on Fridays. And then the weekend, that's when I kind of, I beef shit up a little, but still calmer. My days are most intense, honestly, throughout Monday to Wednesday. That's when, like, I'm working like 12-hour days, but near the end of the week, it's a bit calmer and it's more like a reflection period and just planning for the week ahead. So, yeah, I'm gonna get off this chair low key and get some work and catch y'all probably in the car. Alright, guys, heading to the gym. So I want to talk to you guys about something, and just basically the concept of, not even a concept really, just tell you guys, I'm not gonna lie, my life right now is boring as shit. So shout out anyone watching these videos, like, genuinely, like, it's just me working basically all day, working, and then, it's not really anything too crazy, but that's just the phase that I'm in my life. My life is just a period right now where I'm looking for a lot of growth. So I need to work. I need to do the things that I need to do to get to the point that I want to get to. Like, essentially where I'm at currently in my journey, I've been able to do a couple $1 million online. Well, to be exact, $2.9 million with my first business, which is cool, I guess. Like, you started the business when you're in your teenage years and you're able to gross $2.9 million. But in doing that, you start understanding that what's the bigger picture of this shit, and you start realizing that there's a bigger picture. It's not about you starting to party, go to Miami, get a Rolex, drive expensive cars, just waste money, go to the club. Like, that's not what this shit's about. Like, and that's what you're gonna have to understand for yourself. I can tell you this a million times, you won't necessarily understand it until you go through this. But for me, I thought once I made essentially 100 racks in the bank, cool, game's over. Well, it's not game's over, but it's like you can relax. But you realize the more and more you're in business that the more money you make, the more locked in you need to be, because it's very easy to lose money very quickly. As fast as you can get it is as fast as you can lose it. So that's why right now I'm in a period where I'm just been planning and strategizing how I am going to grow multiple brands rather than the one. Like I said, I've been able to gross around $2.9 million with the first brand, and it made me realize that, okay, I can do it with this first brand, but I've yet to done it like in a repeatable manner. Like, I was able to manage media buy for a few clients, shout out B&B, but I was never necessarily the one managing the whole process. I was just media buyer. But right now, I'm taking all these skills that I learned, I've put them on a Figma board, and I'm just documenting the whole process of me starting a new brand, so I'm able to, make this a repeatable thing, because you never want to be a one-trick pony. I've been able to do it in the jewelry niche, but I haven't done it in other industries at such a high level as I've done with the jewelry niche or jewelry products. That's why this year again has been a year for me to just learn. Well, last year, to be honest, the whole journey has been a learn period, and I've been able to understand a lot and understand what I need to do moving forward to be able to hit, $250,000 in a month. I know from the skill set that I'm at right now, I'm able to go 0 to $250,000 a month. I know what systems I need. I know what I need to do to achieve that. And I've been able to put that on a document for me to understand, okay, once you get here, you do this. Once you get here, you do this. And now it's just about execution. Execution is the next step to this phase that I'm on. And that's why you see it's literally just grind. That's what it is, until we have a couple brands that are able to be pushing, consistent 6-figure months. And then we're not going to relax, but that's when we can get a team in place, and then we can take ourselves out of the day-to-day and look more on strategy on how we can grow these brands, looking outside of it rather than being in the day-to-day. Right now, I am still in the day-to-day for the most part. Like, there are obviously team members for a lot of things like customer service, editing videos, making landing pages, anything that's very like low leverage tasks that literally anybody can do. I'm not doing it no more. But when it comes to scripting the ads,
the media buy, like shit like that, where, you know, it makes sense for me to be a part of it for right now, at least, until we're pushing enough revenue where it makes sense to hire myself out of the position. That's where, you know, my time goes, and where I am basically planning on and thinking, okay, oh, and finding products for now. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm just at kind of like taking the product, you know, giving it to who I need to launch the make the lander or make the website. Then I go about creative. I give the script to an editor, and then I test the shit and I see if it works. But later down the line, it's going to be a process where I have somebody testing this shit. I have somebody scaling the ads, and then we just go on calls, and my day will consist more on calls, more as in a CEO approach. Because realistically, like, in this dropshipping shit, like, if you're not doing high enough scale, you will always be in this rat race of you always working super, super hard, and you're gonna be like, damn, what am I doing this for? Like, yeah, you're making money, but nevertheless, the amount of stress that you're enduring, the amount of work you're gonna have to do, you don't want to do this for the rest of your life. So that's why you have to look at the shit as a bigger picture and understand, okay, yes, right now I gotta grind really, really hard, but in doing this, I need to be able to build a foundation for myself where I'm able to do enough revenue to take myself out of the day-to-day operations and let the business operate without you. That's the main goal of this shit. And also, you want to be in a position where you can also be able to sell these brands. That's also a very good reason. Well, what? Another reason I should say that I kind of pivoted away, because at the end of the day, like, these businesses are good for cash flow, but you still want to be able, and again, it's not easy to sell these brands for that desirable high 8-figure, whatever you want exit, but you can still be able to sell some of these brands for a good amount of money if you play your cards right. Nevertheless, it might not be that big sexy number that you want, but if you play a card right, you're able to build these brands to a point where it's able to sustain itself. You can definitely sell that brand. There's always people acquiring businesses, always people wanting to acquire businesses. If you people on Twitter, and if you know people in, you know, your circle and shit, there's gonna be people that want to acquire these brands that are able to consistently generate revenue and that are continue to grow as long as they've been operating for a long enough duration of time. So that's where I am at in my life. Shit is boring right now, you know, work, gym, eat, that's the schedule right now. But nevertheless, you know, there might be some videos where I'm traveling here and there, but it's not too crazy. Like, I did for a month, it was cool, but now we're back to the grind. I'm working harder than ever, and I've said this multiple times, like, this feels like me when I was like not dead broke, but when I was just trying to come up with my first $100,000. This is how hard I was fucking working, and that year was a great year. Like, you guys don't understand the energy that you feel, and I don't know if you guys feel this, or you guys are gonna feel this when you are about to make a breakthrough. Like, everything's gonna feel like it's not going your way, but you're gonna have this energy where you just feel like something's coming, but you don't know what yet. And that's what I felt that year, and I'm feeling that type of energy right now. So this year should be a great year where we're able to operate these brands. We've learned so much lessons in the past years, and even the past year, honestly, with this current brand, first brand. So I know there's going to be a lot of growth moving forward, and a lot of money is going to be made in this year. And I just want to document this shit for y'all boys and show you guys what it's looking like when you're looking to expand your business and just make a lot of fucking money. That's the whole goal of this shit. Just want to show you guys what is the reality of this shit. But right now I am heading to the gym, and like I said, I'm about to get, I don't know, man, like, what the fuck, I'm tripping. But yeah, I'm about to get to the gym, get some work in the gym, and then yeah, get back to work in a bit. But yeah, hopefully you guys gym too. Gym is a great way to relieve your stress if you guys are stressed out. Like, if it wasn't for gym, bro, I think I'd probably crash out on a daily basis. But anytime I'm about to crash out, I literally get off my computer and just go gym, and I'm able to have a level head. Like, the amount of times where you wake up, like, there's been times where I've woken up on a day. One time, I'll tell you guys a quick story before I get to the gym, because there's a bunch of cars here in this four-way stop. Okay, it's my turn back. But there's a time where I woke up. I literally just woke up, and then I realized that somebody was hacking my Facebook ad manager. And bro, When I tell you I was so fucked, like that day, I'm not like I couldn't go gym though because I had to fix the issue because my credit card, my Amex was on my card on the thing. I was trying to get contact for Facebook support. You know, Facebook support is ass. So for like 4 or 5 hours, I'm trying to solve this issue. These niggas try to rinse me out of $16,000. Like they were spending ads on some bullshit. Like that shit really pissed me off because they started launching their own shit for their own store and it was the most cooked product. But the shit was getting conversions. That's what even pissed me off even more. Anyways, they try to rinse me 16K on the Amex, bro. I'm getting notifications on my phone. I said, fuck it, I'm going gym because at that point, like, there's nothing else I could do. So I just made a, what do you call it? I just canceled my card basically, and I did a dispute with Amex, and then Amex was able to give me my funds back. Thank the Lord. But these niggas are trying to rinse me out of 8Gs, and these niggas are trying to schedule another like $16,000 after that. But my card declined, so you know I was getting the notifications was telling me these niggas are trying to spend $30,000 on my shit. And imagine, bro, you're just waking up, you're looking to get some work in to make money, you know. And that was a bad period as well where I lost my previous attic. Like it was just a bad situation. It's just like you just have to put one foot in front of the other and just keep pushing every single day. Like, bro, they were trying to rinse my shit, bro. But yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie. The gym session was very, very good. I feel very, very good. The weather is good out here in Canada, and it's a Friday. Like, I'm not genuinely not gonna lie. Like, I feel very, very, very nice right now. And I want to give you guys and share this positivity, motivation, whatever you want to call it, with any of you guys that want to start your business. Because a lot of people DM me, you guys say, oh, how do I start my store? This and that, this and that. But genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, for all you guys that are about the grind and want to, you know, see yourself in a better situation, you want aspirations to start a business, whether it's drop shipping, trade, whatever you want to do, just start right now, start learning, and understand that you are going to fail. Like, it's not like rocket science. You just have to understand you're going to fail. A lot of people tell me, how do I do this without failing? How do I do this without losing money? That's what 99% of my DMs are. And if you want to hit me in my DMs, link in the description. But you guys are always worried about losing money, but you have to understand that you have to go through these trials and tribulations and losing money, you know, fucking shit up to gain the lessons to understand what works and what doesn't work. I've been in this shit now for 3 or 4 years. I don't even know. I've been in this shit since I was literally 17 or 18. I'm currently 22. And when I got into this, I'd be lying if I thought it was going to be, you know, such a battle of how I thought it was. Obviously, to be honest with y'all, I didn't think I was going to even see success like that. I just did it like just to do it because I want to make money. But the moment I got my first sale and understood that this was something that's actually real, and I could maybe talk about this whole process in another video, but once you get your first sale, bro, the shit gets addictive. And even if you start losing money, you start chasing that high, you start chasing the, you know, you start chasing the result that you want to hit, you know, 10K in a month for the first time, 100K, and it just becomes a whole process where you get very, very hungry to see more success once you get your first sale. But the thing that stops a lot of people that I find, that people that talk to me, people that start off their stuff and quit, is that they have the initial motivation because of the materialistic items to see somebody have. They might see somebody with a nice car, they might see somebody with a nice watch, nice home, nice lifestyle, or whatever. They're initially drawn into the business model because of that. But the moment that they test a product and it flops, they lose a couple $100, they aren't willing to put in the work to continue, you know, make this shit work. Like, it's impossible for you to think that you're gonna spend $1,000 and you're gonna get a 6-figure product, you know, 7-figure product, make $1 million, $10 million. That's not how life works. If you guys even look at it and be realistic and look at how businesses were literally, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 30 years ago, whatever. I don't know how many years ago, but years ago, you had to spend upwards of 50 racks to start a fucking business, bro. Now you can start off with, you know, a couple racks. Obviously, it's not easy, but you have to understand that you have to play to win. That's what it is. You need to spend money, and you need to get some reps in the game, put your time into it to be able to learn the things that you need to learn to be able to be somebody that's capable and deserving of making the money. You think you're just gonna get into this bitch and just make $1 million? It's just not gonna fucking happen. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not gonna happen. And if it does randomly out of luck, you might just lose it as quick as you got it, because you haven't gained any lessons to understand how to generate that income. So it's important for you guys to understand that this is a journey, and that's kind of why I like to document these videos. It's like, for me to kind of reflect on, see where I used to be and see how far I've come. For two, is to inspire all the people. Again, there's a lot of people that have always DM'd me, like just people that I know or whatever, want to get into this shit. And I'm realizing that there's a lot of people that want to get into the stuff, but they don't necessarily know and understand what it really takes. And I want to be as realistic and honest as possible and show you guys this is what it is. You're working 24/7. It's not some shit where you're always in Miami doing the shit. Once you start, getting some results, you can fuck around and go to Miami for a week, and do shit like that. But in the beginning, it's just you, your computer, grinding it by yourself. The shit might get fucking lonely and shit, but that's why you join communities like the Telegram in the description. It's literally free. If you don't want to join that, who cares? You can still get in a bunch of Discords, a bunch of different communities, and just network and talk to like-minded individuals. Like, if I'm gonna be honest with you, the thing that kind of helps you in the game when you feel like you want to quit, is just having like-minded individuals that you can constantly talk about, and realize that you're not the only one going through these fuck shits. Like, even the people that you see at the top on YouTube, they all get ad account bans. They all have issues in their business. At every level of the business is going to be issues. And you have to understand that just because you see the lifestyle, you see the highlight reel of what's going on, understand that they're still having issues. And that's just a part of the game. Businesses is a flow of ups and downs, and that's just what it is. Just mentally prepare yourself and understand that's what it is when it comes to this business stuff. And if you want to make this shit work, I'd say, well, a lot of people won't do this, so I'll just say dedicate 1 year to this shit, and it's impossible for you not to see a little bit of progress, if not a lot of progress, if you genuinely try your best and learn off your mistakes. Think about this. And I don't really care if people go to university or college or not. I don't really have, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't necessarily matter to me. If you genuinely want to go to that to get a degree that you care about, then I'm all up for it. But if you're just doing it to do it, then don't do that shit. But nevertheless, a lot of you guys are willing to spend thousands of dollars on this college shit, and for one, some shit that you don't want to do. For two, something that you're not even going to take seriously. For three, that you don't even think has potential for you to grow and make a lot of money. But anyways, you're willing to do that, spend all of this money for that, but you're not willing to spend $1,000, $2,000 to invest in yourself to learn a skill that's going to generate you money. Nobody's telling you that you have to go into this shit and quit your job and go all in ecom. I'd honestly recommend a lot of you guys to not even recommend, add advice. Like, you guys should have a job when you're in this ecom shit to fund your business. And once your business is making more than you're making from your job, 2x, whatever you're comfortable with, and you have a good enough savings, that's when you can decide if you want to quit the shit. But you can still do, if you want a part-time job, do the e-com stuff from work security, you can do that. But the whole goal of this e-com stuff is to give you more freedom, give you more cash in your pocket to be able to do the things that you want to do. It's not about wanting to make 100K a month. You don't have to make 100K a month. If you're happy with making 10K a month, then you can do that shit. Like, that's what e-com allows you to do. And if I'm be honest with you, if you only want to make like 5 to 10K a month net profit, then if you're able to honestly learn from your mistakes pretty quickly enough, within 1 to 2 years, 3 years max, you should be able to do that if you're doing the things that you need to do. So it's important to understand what you want to do. If this is something you want to do in your early 20s, this is something you should definitely do. You have so much time on your hands, whether you're in school or you're working, you have time to do it. Let's be real, you have time to do it. Time that you spend on the game, time you spend drinking, going to the club, just chill with that for like a year, bro. Relax. You can still hang out with your friends. I'm not telling you to not do this. You can still hang out with your girl, but you have to understand what is the priority in your life. Not everybody wants to make millions of dollars, cool, but you still should want to create a foundation for your family where you have a safety net of savings to be able to live your life and do what you want to do. And if you're watching these videos, I promise, or I'm almost certain that you want to do these type of things, but you're scared. You don't want to pull the lever because you don't want to lose money. So this is your sign for anybody that doesn't want. What the fuck? This is your sign for anybody that wants to get into this e-com shit. Just start today, okay? Comment in the description if you started today or you're planning to start. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm down to help y'all. The Telegram is literally free. And I've been lacking on Telegram, I'm not gonna lie. I have to get back on it. I've been busy. So if you have any questions directly to me, at me, I'll answer that bitch. But yeah, I'm driving home right now. And about to grab some food. Nah, I'm not gonna eat. I lied. I'm probably gonna get a protein shake in, take a shower, and then get back to some work.
It is time to scale. CBO from this morning is still ripping. We're at 3.45 ROAS. So what am I gonna do? 360. You're gonna boost it to 20%. What is that? Where's my calculator? Calculator. What the fuck? Calculator. $70. We are gonna go from 360 to 432. That's how I scale. Boom. That's how I like to scale. Easy, just like that. That's all you gotta do. Nothing too crazy. And we're not gonna touch shit for this ad account. That's all you gotta do. New creatives, increase budgets once it makes sense. That's all you gotta do. Second store actually got a sale. Let's put this. Sorry. Sale on the second store. Let's refresh this shit for y'all niggas. Nothing too crazy again. One sale. We're actively still testing this product and seeing what works and doesn't work. And a big misconception, I guess, in this dropshipping shit is that you need to test stuff for like 3 days. If you see that there's a potential for a product, at the end of the day, a product might not work because you have shit creatives. It might not work because the price is too high, the offer is bad. Like, there's so many reasons why your product might not work. And if you think the product has potential and you have a proof of concept, seeing that, looking at competitors and all the research you did before launching it, that it might do well, then you might have to increase your stop loss to maybe you wanted to lose $150 to $1,000 like I'm doing right now. Again, we made some small improvements and the sale flow is a lot more consistent than it was in the last previous days. I feel like we might be seeing a lot more revenue coming in for this business in the next coming days, or it might do shit again. I don't really know. But in looking how the performance looks right now, it looks a lot better. The CBO from this morning got a sale. The static actually is what got the sale. The static should be at 3 sales on the static. We might make a separate CBO for the static. The static looks kind of decent. Let me check the break-even point on this bitch just to make sure it makes sense. We might not do it, I don't know, but let's just see. Your point is, let's see. We'll leave it in the CBO. We won't do nothing too drastic too much right now. Whatever, leave it in the CBO. Collect some more sales. It is the leading creative in the CBO, so whatever. We'll just let it cook in here. Let's see. Is there any other ad groups or creators doing well in this broad CBO? Did this hit the break-even point? What's the break-even point? Yeah, this is probably gonna get this ad batch probably gonna be turned off. And yeah, as you guys can see, well, you guys can't see the screen, but it's really just constantly launching good ads, turning off bad ads. And I am playing with interest on the sides, like I mentioned. The interests aren't cooking today, but the CTR is very, very good. I'm gonna probably give it another day. If it does shit, I'll turn it off and just stick to the one CBO. But again, today performance is looking good on the first store. Second store we're still working on. And yeah, that's what we're looking at so far right now. I'm gonna launch some new interests. I didn't end up doing that for that second brand. I only launched new creatives, so I'm launching interest right now. I turned off these shit ones. There's 3 shit interest, so I turned it off earlier. And yeah, I did the increase just now on video. And then what else? CBO testings. Yeah, that's about it for now, really. Yeah, that's about it for now. What else? Is there anything else, boys? I don't know, like this media buying shit, like it's just you doing shit. You're testing it out, analyze performance, see how it does. Does shit, you turn it off, it does well. You keep scaling, or you make implementation or improvements on what's doing bad, and then you just wait. It's like a kind of waiting game in a way when it comes to this testing stuff, but once it starts doing well, it's about just getting good creatives into the door. And I also think I might want to do a Q&A for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys do hit me with DMs, message me in Telegram, and it'd be cool to see what type of questions you guys have. So maybe I might drop a poll on my IG. Follow me on IG. Let me know if you guys want to see some shit. If you want to see some shit like that, DM me. Let me know, and I might add a Q&A section inside these videos to help you guys. And yeah, guys, like the drop shipping shit is very, very cool to do. And again, I said earlier, do that shit if you want to do it. Do that shit, boys. Right now I'm yapping your head off. This video might be long as shit, so I think I'm edit off here, honestly. If the store gets more sales, I might turn the camera back on, but this should be the outro. So I appreciate all you guys watching this video. Hope you guys start your business, and yeah, I'm gonna keep killing it, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. And you guys might be wondering why this video ending so short. It's because at the end of the day, for the end of this day, I won't be doing much. No work will be done. I'm gonna just be really just posted, just chilling, man. And I don't think y'all wanna watch that, so yeah, catch y'all in the next video, unless the store, let's see, did they get another sale? Nah. Yeah, I catch y'all in the next video. Peace.